Welcome to my master research lessons. My lessons will be based on a book entitled Social Research Methods, Proposal Writing Guide. 1.3. 1.3. Research objectives / research questions / research hypothesis. Hypothesis when it is one, and hypothesis when there are many. Hypothesis I and A differentiate. These are many hypotheses. So now I move to this part: research objectives / research questions / hypothesis. You may treat them as 1.3, or you may give them the title depending on how you may be guided by respective institutions and organizations. How do you state in research? How do you state your research objectives? This is very tricky. I've seen students of research with very scattered research objectives. Very scattered. Very scattered. And for me to be able to enlighten the concept of or the component of research objectives, let me look vis-a-vis a research title. How do you get to your specific? Let me talk of specific objectives. Specific research objectives. And for the purpose of enlightening on this aspect, let me move to the aspect of specific research objectives. How do you arrive at research objectives? Research objectives, you look at your title. Let me use, for the purpose of this, enlightening this, I use very simple undergraduate title: Factors Affecting Students' Academic Performance in Public Schools. For the purpose of my exposure and presentation here, factors affecting students' academic performance in public schools in certain place. When you look at a topic of this nature, you ask yourself, what is the general research question from here, so that you arrive at your parameters. Factors affecting students' academic performance here. You ask yourself the general research question: what are the factors affecting students' academic performance? What are the factors? That's the general question. From the general question, you arrive at the specific questions, or at specific objectives. That is why we are looking at research objectives, may be research questions. I'm going to treat the two at the same time. Therefore, you may ask from this question, you may state it as an objective, a general objective, maybe to examine the factors affecting students' academic performance. And then, as a question, may be stated as, what are the factors affecting students' academic performance? Is a general question that is derived from your research title. And then we have here the specific objectives. The answer to the general research question, which is what are the factors affecting students' academic performance, is one, maybe management, school management. Two, maybe facilities, school facilities. 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 3, maybe maybe teacher factor, and 4, maybe student factor. These are parameters, these are variables, these are key concepts that are born from here. And these are what we treat as independent variables, but I'll be coming to that. But these are the answers to the general question, which is, what are the factors? So to arrive at research objectives, therefore, how do you arrive at research objectives? You arrive at research objectives based on the general research question, which is, what are the factors? Or based on the general research objective, which is to find out the factors affecting. This we call hypothesized. You are hypothesizing them. You are theorizing them. These are, you are projecting them, maybe based on your experience or based on literature. Based on your experience or based on literature. And therefore, if you hypothesize this, you theorize this, then you want to examine, therefore, to what extent, for instance, such factors affect students' academic performance. And that is how you arrive at the key parameters, key concepts that are guiding your entire study. This may come as a result of your reading or as a result of your experience. And therefore you theorize them and you want to examine them. To what extent, therefore, they affect students' academic performance. So in this case now, we take, for instance, school management. You may ask, or you may put as a statement, objectives are just statements, but questions are put as questions, and objectives, research objectives, are put in statement form. And therefore, research questions are those statements put in question form. For instance, let me give you an example of the first parameter, school management. I may put it as an objective to examine the extent to which school management affects students' academic performance in public secondary schools in that area. I may put also the second one on facilities to find out how school facilities affect students' academic performance in public secondary schools in that area. I may also put, for instance, what maybe to examine the teacher characteristics that affect students' academic performance among secondary school students in that area. And consequently, and lastly, I may also examine how, for instance, students' characteristics affect, or student factor affect, or what characteristics students demonstrate that are likely to affect their performance. So you see now, based on these parameters, I'm playing around in the area of my research objectives or research questions using the very parameters that were derived from general research question or general research objective, which is the topic, which is the title. And this becomes general objective. And from general objective, you move to specific objective. You may have also general question. And that leads to general specific research questions. That is how you go about the question of research objectives and the question of research questions. And I think that exposure is a breakthrough that can help students of research to be able to arrive at key parameters of measure by asking the general question or the general research objective that leads to the key parameters that guide the entire study. And how do we deal with the question of hypothesis? Because they are connected. And I'm going to use the same examples to be able to enlighten you on how you go about stating research hypothesis based on the topic or the title or the area of your investigation or examination for that case. If you like this presentation, click the button and subscribe and like as well.